Every single time you upload a video on YouTube, something happens behind the scenes that most creators have no idea about. YouTube doesn't just throw your video out to millions of people and hope for the best. It runs it through a three-phase testing system, and the brutal truth is, most creators are unknowingly sabotaging themselves in phase 2. Once I understood the system, everything about how I create and upload changed, so let me break it down for you. If you ever uploaded a video that just died, barely any views, no momentum, felt like shouting into the void, this video is going to explain exactly why that happened, and more importantly, what you can do to stop it happening again. We're going to walk through each phase, what YouTube is actually measuring, and I'll show you exactly what this looks like in real analytics data. Okay, phase 1. This is where everything begins. The moment your video goes live, YouTube doesn't blast it to a massive audience. Instead, it shows your video to a small, controlled group of people. This group is what I'd like to call your seed audience, and it's made up of a few specific buckets. First, your existing subscribers. YouTube will push your video to a portion of your subscriber base, not all of them, just a slice. Second, people who've recently watched similar content on the platform. YouTube has a very clear picture of a viewer behavior, and it matches your video's topic and metadata to people who've engaged with related content. The key metric YouTube is watching here is click-through rate, or CTR. It's asking one simple question: when we show this thumbnail and title to people, do they click on it? Now, what counts as a good CTR? For most channels, a CTR between 4% and 10% in this early phase is solid. If you're hitting above 10%, that's a strong signal. Below 2 to 3%, YouTube is already starting to pump the brakes. But here's something most creators don't realize. CTR alone isn't enough. YouTube is also tracking what happens after the click. Are people immediately bouncing back to the homepage? Are they watching for 10 seconds then leaving? That behavior is a red flag, and it bleeds directly into phase 2. So phase 1 is really about one thing: does your thumbnail and title create enough curiosity or desire to earn the click? And does the first 30 seconds of your video justify the click? If you're losing people in the first half minute, YouTube sees that. Phase 1 tip: your first 30 seconds are not an intro, they're a promise. Tease what's coming, hit the tension, and delay resolution. Give people a reason to stay. Now we get to phase 2. This is the phase most creators fail, and it's where dreams go to die. Once your video has shown some positive CTR signal in phase 1, YouTube starts expanding distribution, but it hasn't committed yet. It's now watching one metric more closely than almost anything else, which is audience retention. Specifically, it's asking, do viewers actually watch this video? How much of it do they watch? And are there specific moments where they drop off, or even better, rewatch? YouTube's algorithm treats high retention as proof that your content is valuable. If people are watching 60%, 70%, even 80% of your video, that's a massive signal that your content is worth spreading. If they're dropping off at the 20% mark consistently, YouTube reads that as this video isn't delivering on its promise, and it pulls back distribution. Here's the retention shape you should aim for in an ideal world. Your retention curve drops slightly at the beginning. That's normal. Some realize it's not for them, but then it levels off and stays relatively flat throughout the video. Even better, you want to see bumps and spikes, which happen when viewers rewind to rewatch a section. YouTube loves these spikes because it means something in your video was so good people wanted to experience it again. Now here's why most creators fail phase 2. They nail the hook. They get the click, but then the video sags. There's a long rambling story in the middle, there's dead air, repetition, or a section that just doesn't land. Viewers bail, and when they bail, the algorithm bails too. The other thing that kills phase 2 is poor pacing. YouTube's internal research has shown that viewers are more engaged when there's a new idea visual or shift in energy every 30 to 60 seconds. Think of it like a TV show. Scene changes, new angles, cutaways, these keep the brain engaged. Here's some tips for phase 2. 1. Outline your video with beats every 45 to 60 seconds. Something should shift. New point, new visual, new energy. Tip number 2, cut ruthlessly. If a sentence doesn't hold value or tension, cut it. The most watched YouTube videos are tight. 3. Use pattern interrupts, B-roll, text on screen, a quick cut to an example, a statistic, anything that resets the viewer's attention. And 4. End sections with micro cliffhangers. And that brings me to the next part, which is honestly where most people get it completely wrong. That one sentence keeps people watching. Phase 2 is the real audition. If your video passes this, YouTube starts to open the floodgates. Now phase 3 is where the magic happens. If you've passed the first 2, by this point YouTube has seen that people click your video and they actually watch it. Now it asks a completely different question. Can this video perform beyond your existing audience? This is sometimes called the browse and suggested phase. YouTube starts showing your video to cold audiences, people who don't subscribe to you, people who've never heard of you. It's showing your video in the suggested sidebar, in browse features, sometimes even in search, if the topic is relevant. The metric YouTube leans on heavily in phase 3 is session watch time. This is different from just video watch time. It's asking, does watching your video lead people to watch more YouTube? If someone watches your video and then keeps watching other videos, either yours or someone else's, that's great for the platform and YouTube rewards you for it. This is also where the end screens and cards start to matter a lot. If you've built good watch time within your video and then you direct people to another video with a strong end screen, you're contributing to session time YouTube will notice. The other thing phase 3 measures is satisfaction signals, likes, comments, shares, and especially how many people add your video to playlists or come back to rewatch it days later. These signals tell YouTube this video has lasting value, not just a one-day spark. Now, a lot of creators think going viral is random. It's not. Going viral or even just having a video do significantly better than your average is usually the result of a video that passed all 3 phases cleanly. Good CTR in phase 1, strong retention in phase 2, and genuine engagement and session time in phase 3. A tip I can give you for phase 3 is at the end of your video, don't just say subscribe, give them a specific next video to watch. Say something like, if this clicked for you, watch this video next. I break down exactly how to fix your retention in the first 60 seconds. Make the decision easy for them. So why do most creators fail phase 2 specifically? Because phase 1 is something creators have been obsessed with for years. Thumbnails, titles, there's endless content about those, and phase 3 feels abstract, out of your control. But phase 2, the actual video, the structure, the pacing, the content itself, that's harder to fix. It requires real self-awareness and editing discipline. The creators who succeed long term are the ones who watch their own retention graphs like a hawk. They notice when a certain type of intro performs better. They notice that their videos dip at the 4-minute mark every single time, and they figure out why. They treat the analytics not as a report card but as a feedback loop. If you've been stuck wondering why your channel isn't growing despite consistent uploads, check phase 2 first. Open YouTube Studio, click on your last 5 videos, go to the engagement tab and look at the retention curve. Where are people leaving? Is it always at the same spot? That's your answer. YouTube isn't your enemy. The algorithm isn't random or unfair. It's a system, and once you understand the system, you can work with it instead of against it. Phase 1. Earn the click with a compelling title and thumbnail and hook them in the first 30 seconds. Phase 2. Keep them watching with tight, well-paced content that delivers on the promise. And phase 3. Give them a reason to keep watching and signal to YouTube that your content is worth spreading. Nail those 3 phases and the algorithm will do the heavy lifting for you. If you found this video useful, there's plenty more where that came from, and if you want more one-on-one support and a community to join, then you can join my 100% free school community linked up in the first link in the description. And if you want more videos that are going to help you grow on YouTube, then go ahead and click the video that's on screen right now, and I'll see you in the next video.